Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer. You know, I once tried to tell a woman in labor some jokes, but she didn't care for it. It must have been the delivery. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the top 10 games I've played the most. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and today we're going to talk about the games that I have played the most. These are the games that I believe I have played the most, more than any other games. I've played them the most times. This is not scientific. I have not logged my gameplays. This is just my gut telling me, you know, I think I probably played that game more than anything else. And I'm just kind of surprised at how many games that I probably have played a lot. So this is my unscientific look at the games I've played the most over the years. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Number 10 is actually a game that just came out a couple of years ago, and I have seriously played this thing a ton. I have played it a ton solo. I have played it a ton with friends. I played it at every player count because it is so much fun. Recently came out with an expansion. They're going to come out with a new one here before too long. This is Dune Imperium from Direwolf. Dune Imperium, of course, if you haven't played it, is a brilliant worker placement / deck building game where you are, of course, take on one of the factions from the Dune universe. You're one of the great houses, and you are competing for influence and control of the universe. And as you're going ahead, as you're playing this game, as you are moving your workers, you're also expending cards. You're playing cards that allow you to go to certain places. And then after you finish the kind of placement round, you go to the conflict round. You see who has the most armies, and you add up, you total your strength. You play cards that give you more strength, and you determine who wins that as you compete for those resources as well. It is a fantastic game. I love Dune Imperium, and I have played it a ton. That is my number 10. Again, that's from Direwolf. Now, my number 9 is a game that I have played a lot, and it's one of those games that I don't think I played more, although I played it a ton. But the reason I say I haven't played it more than I have is because it's a longer game. It's a 3-hour game, and it's kind of a bear to teach. So you got to play it with the right people. But this is really one of the great two-player games of all time. One of the great games of all time. This is Twilight Struggle from GMT Games. Twilight Struggle is, of course, the grand game of Cold War intrigue and politics. One side is the United States. One side is the Soviet Union. You're placing influence all over the globe. You are attempting to gain power and control for scoring purposes different locations on the board. It is just a hoot. It is so much fun. And what I love about this game is as you're playing these cards, you're going to get a hand of cards that help your enemy. They don't help you. And when you play the card, it's going to help your enemy. But you have no choice. You have to play the card. I've never played, I still have yet to play a game that does such a good job of making you make the best out of bad decisions as this game. It is a tough game, and it is so much fun. It's also a game, too, when I say about teaching it, it's a game that when you know the cards, it's very difficult to have anything approaching kind of a balanced game with a new player, because if they don't know the cards, it's going to hurt them. But it is such a fun game. I love Twilight Struggle. I need to play it even more. I'm thinking about playing it right now. I'm like, I want to play it. It's actually been probably at least a year or so since I played it, but I played this game a ton. I think I first played it in 2012, and I've played it a ton since. All right, so that is Twilight Struggle. That is my number 9. My number 8 is a game that I have played a lot. It came out a few years ago. It's only about 3 or 4 years old, but again, I played the crap out of this thing because to me, unlike a Twilight Struggle, this is a great gateway game, and I've played this with so many people, either new to the hobby or you just want to play something light one night. This is a perfect game for that. It's a very light game, but it's still got enough of a bite that I enjoy playing it every time, and this is Horrified. Horrified from Ravensburger. Horrified is just this wonderful game, the original game featuring the Universal monsters, and you like, you know, can move, take actions. You're trying to lead villagers to different places. You're trying to fulfill specific objectives to beat specific monsters. But at the same time, then you got to draw cards that move the monsters that attack you and attack villagers, and it's tremendous fun. I actually think I prefer the American Monsters version. I like the monsters from the Universal ones, but the challenges of the American Monsters game I like more. But I haven't played that one nearly as much. I played the original Universal Monsters one more, and I freaking love Horrified. It is a phenomenal game. I played a ton, and that is my number 8, and that is again from Ravensburger. And my number 7 is a longer game. This is a 2 to 3 hour game, and it is in my top 10 games of all time, so it's no wonder why this one's here. And it too is a monster game. This is Fury of Dracula. I love Fury of Dracula so much, and there's a lot of people out there that I was actually listening to somebody the other day, and they said it just goes on too long, or there's too much downtime, and I get those complaints. I don't share them. I freaking love this game. This is a game that I'm playing that even if I'm on the opposite side of the board, I'm still so invested. I'm still having so much fun, and you can still negotiate, and you can still say to other players, "Look, you need to, you should go here, you should go here." And to me, that's what I love about playing the Hunters is that negotiation. Fury of Dracula is freaking awesome. I love the hunt, but I also love the battle. I love the way you play the card battles in this game. It's kind of a rock paper scissors, but it's smart and it's fun. And every time I play this game, I'm giddy. And Halloween's coming up. I gotta find time to play it again because I freaking love Fury of Dracula. There was a while I was trying to play this like every Halloween. Haven't been on the ball that much, but I love this game. Fury of Dracula. That is my number 7. It's from originally it's Games Workshop, then it's Fantasy Flight Games, and the most recent version is from WizKids. My number 6 is another top 10 game for me, top 5 game for me, and this is one again. I'm astounded how many times I've played this game. There have been some years where I got to the table maybe once, and then there have been years when I got to the table like 8 or 9 times. And I freaking love it. Again, it's been a while since I played it. It's probably been at least a year. I don't think I've played it since I've been up here in Wyoming. But this is Battlestar Galactica, the board game. Battlestar Galactica, the board game. Now, I had played the Unfathomable a couple of times recently, which is the reskin of it, which is great, which I like. But Battlestar Galactica, the theme, I love the TV show so much, and the theme is so freaking good. Battlestar Galactica, I've said this before, I've never played a game that so well captured its IP as Battlestar Galactica does. Just the fear and paranoia, you don't know who the Cylon is, the hidden traitor, social deduction aspect of the game married to just this very cool semi-cooperative trying to save the ship, the Cylon crisis. Everything about it, from theme to mechanics, it's fun. It's just got fun written all over it. And I could play this game again and again and again and never get tired of it. But this is number 6, Battlestar Galactica. That is from Fantasy Flight Games. My number 5 is another top 5 game for me, maybe top 10. And it's another game that captures its IP very, very well. Not quite as well as Battlestar, but I would say this probably captures it. It's probably the second game to capture its IP that well. And this is Star Wars Rebellion. Star Wars Rebellion I have played a ton. This came out in 2016, and this is a game I get to the table every year since I've gotten it. I mean, at least once to the table. But sometimes, again, this is a game, some years I've gotten it 5 or 6 times to the table. I know I played it here, I guess in May was the last time I played it with my friend McKay. He moved away, and so he was funny because he said he never wanted to play a game that was longer than an hour and a half. And I said, well, this is a longer game, but he said, let's play it. So we played it, and we had an absolute ball. Star Wars Rebellion is a phenomenal game it really is Star Wars in a box. You are the Rebellion or the Empire. It's asymmetrical. You're either trying to find the hidden base of the Rebels, or if you're the Rebels, you're trying to do these kind of pinpoint strikes to kind of boost your reputation. And it's tremendous immersion in the Star Wars universe here. And I can't say enough good things about it, except to say you do need to get the expansion. The expansion really enhances the combat element of the game, which is the weakest part of the game. But I highly recommend you get Star Wars Rebellion. Check that out. If you haven't, you will freaking love it. That is my 5th most played game, and that's from Fantasy Flight Games. Okay, now we're getting into some some smaller games here, because smaller games sometimes are easier to get to the table. Now, let me say this. My number 4 is a game that has an app version. And if I were to include the app version, this easily would be my most played game of all time. But I'm not including the app version. I am just including the actual physical copy of the game. This is Star Realms. Star Realms is a deck builder. It's a deck builder in which you are attempting to knock down the other person, their authority points. You each start with 50 authority points. You're trying to knock down your enemy to 0, but you've got cards. You've got different colored cards. You've got blue, green, yellow, and red, and they play off of each other. And if you play those same colors, they activate secondary abilities on those cards. And it's a great deck building attack game. I know there's a version where you can play like multiples fighting each other. I think that sounds like fun, but haven't had a chance now to play that. The Hero Realms, which is the fantasy version of it, is also very good, but I haven't played that nearly as much as Star Realms. I freaking love Star Realms. I've played, I think, the Colony Wars expansion, which I love as well. But Star Realms is just tremendous fun. Highly, highly, highly recommend Star Realms. If you haven't had a chance to play it, pick it up by all means. That is my number 4. That is from Wise Wizard Games. My number 3 is a game that there was a time when I was in Texas. Whenever I'd come back to Utah, we'd play this game and another one on the list here, and we play it several times. And I played this game. I think it came out in, I want to say 2016 or 2017. And again, I played it a ton. Although I probably haven't played it in the last year. But this is Secret Hitler. Secret Hitler is the great social deduction game where you're trying to figure out, of course, who the fascists are. If you're the liberals, if you're the fascists, you're trying to secretly pass your agenda. And you've got every round, you've got the president. He nominates a chancellor. You vote for the chancellor. And then the chancellor tries to pass his legislation. And then he passes his legislation secretly to the president, who selects it, or vice versa. And then it goes out there, and you don't know who's lying. You don't know who the fascist is. You don't know who the liberals are. And it's one of these just games of chaos and deception, and it is so much fun. It's not a game for people that can't take in-game betrayal, but it's hilarious. I actually, when I was in Texas, I had a foreign policy course in my PhD program, and my professor actually let us play this one. I actually was giving a presentation, and it was kind of our World War II era, and I was able to let us talk him into letting us play a couple of rounds of this. Tremendous fun. I love Secret Hitler. This is a great game, and I played it a ton. My number 3, Secret Hitler. My number 2 game is the other game that I would play with Secret Hitler when I come back to Utah and I bring it. And we play the crap out of this. And what's great about this is the game lasts about 20 minutes. So you end up playing like 10 or 20 of these games because it's all set up. And it is so much fun. This was a game, the first time I played it, I didn't know if it would be any good. And I'm like, no, we'll try it. Now, the downside is you need 8 people. You need exactly 8 people to really get the experience here. So the first time I was able to get 8 people together, I'm like, well, let's try it. And I'm hoping it wasn't a dud. And we played the first game, and we're like, holy crap. And we played it again and again and again. And it just is so much fun. This is Captain Sonar, Team Battleship, right? Players take on different roles. You've got the captain, you've got the sonar operator, you've got the first officer, and you've got the engineer. And they all have their specific roles, and they all need to be on the ball in order to make sure the ship can move, the ship can fire when it needs to, it can drop torpedoes, it can take measures to try to locate the enemy sub. It's such a brilliant freaking game. I love it. And like I said, the only downside is you need to have 8 players to have the full experience for every game. But I do. I love this game so much. There's almost a party game aspect to it, but it's not really a party game. But there's this tension and this frantic energy you get with this game that I don't know that I've seen in any other game I have ever played. Captain Sonar just blows you out of the water with the fun it delivers. So this is my number 2, Captain Sonar, that is from Madagot and Asmodee, I believe. Now, my number 1 game of all time that I played the most. This is a game that I played the most because they keep coming out with an expansion every 3 or 4 months, it seems like. I literally got another expansion yesterday in the mail. And so every time they get an expansion, I play it usually 2 or 3 times. And then sometimes I just play it for fun. I play this game mostly Solitaire, just because it's easier to get it done that way. But I do play it with a lot of other people from time to time. And it's one of my all-time great games. It's probably top 20, top 15 game for me. I love the IP, and I love the gameplay it gives. And this is, of course, you probably know where I'm going with this. This is legendary Marvel deck building game. I play this game all the time. I do the reviews for this game all the time whenever they come out with the expansions. And there's always something new and exciting and different with the expansions when they come out. I'm always very excited to play them. They've got the big box expansions, the little box expansions. It's been a while since we've seen some of the big box expansions. But I got to tell you, I'm running out of storage space. I really need them to hurry up and come up with their storage solution, which I think they're working on. I'm pretty sure they're working on. I've gotten hints, but I'm not 100%. So we need to get that out as soon as possible because I'm really looking forward to that. But it's just a solid game, deck building game. You got to take down a mastermind 4 times. You've got cards you can recruit from, cards you're attacking, and it's very evocative of the IP. And I've learned so much about the Marvel Universe and obscure characters that I never would have learned otherwise. Tremendous fun. This is a game that keeps me on my toes every time I play it. And like I say, I play it probably more often than not Solitaire, and I usually play it with two decks. I usually play as though I'm playing 2 people, and I really enjoy it. Super fun, great artwork. I love that's to me is half the fun. I love the artwork here, but just a solid game and a solid experience whether I'm playing Solitaire or with others. But Marvel Legendary, I play this game easily more than any other game I play, and I love it. That's a legendary Marvel deck building game from Upper Deck, and that is my number 1. Well, thank you again for joining me today on The Discriminating Gamer. Let me know, do you play any of these games a lot? Are there games you play a lot more than these? I'm always interested to know what people's takes are, so please let me know. And please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd also ask you to please I'll probably post this to BGG. Please leave a thumb for this. And check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check it out. Please subscribe. You know, ladies and gentlemen, here's a deep thought for you. Do Transformers have to get car insurance, or do they just stick to life insurance?
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight, but I don't ever win. It's a fine line to damnation, but God let me in.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to take a look at a game called Legendary Civil War from Upper Deck. What's that? It's not that Civil War. I do not care. I do not care, sir. I will do this review as though it were that Civil War. You do not come down here and tell me not to do... I'll do whatever I want. I will secede from this show.